Have you ever listened to a native speaker and felt like they were speaking an entirely different language? Everything starts off easy with basic phrases like, "How are you?" But just a few seconds later, their words turn into a blur of sounds that you can't quite catch. If this happens to you, don't worry. It's completely normal. Native speakers don't just speak fast. They connect sounds, drop words, use idioms, and throw in slang. This makes listening and understanding much more challenging. But the good news is that you can improve your listening comprehension with effective techniques. Let's explore how you can train yourself to listen and speak like a true native speaker. Master the rules of connected speech. When speaking naturally, native speakers don't pronounce each word separately, as in textbooks. Instead, they link words together. For example, instead of saying, "Let me see clearly and slowly," they might say, "Let me see." Similarly, "What do you think?" could sound like, "What I think." This makes their speech more fluid and natural. The best way to get used to connected speech is by listening to native speakers and mimicking them. Pick a conversation, listen carefully, and try to repeat exactly how they pronounce the words. Over time, you'll notice that you can speak more naturally too. Practice the shadowing technique. Shadowing is a powerful technique to improve both listening and speaking skills. The idea is simple. You listen to a sentence from a native speaker, pause briefly, and immediately repeat it, trying to mimic their pronunciation, rhythm, and speed. You can start with simple dialogues from podcasts, YouTube videos, or movies. Once you feel comfortable, try speaking along with the characters in a movie without pausing. This will not only improve your pronunciation, but also help you get used to the natural speed and intonation of native speakers. Learn to use idioms. English is full of idioms that can be confusing if you don't know them. For example, if someone says, "It's a piece of cake," they're not talking about actual cake. It means it's very easy. Similarly, "Spill the beans" doesn't mean drop some beans, but rather reveal a secret. Idioms help you understand the culture and way of thinking of native speakers. Try learning a few idioms each day and practice using them in conversations. Get familiar with slang. Slang consists of informal words and phrases that aren't usually found in textbooks, but are commonly used in daily conversations. For example, chill means relax, sick can mean awesome instead of ill, and slay means to do something exceptionally well. Slang constantly evolves, so the best way to keep up with it is by watching TikTok, YouTube, or reality shows. This will not only expand your vocabulary, but also give you insight into how native speakers really talk. Pay attention to intonation. Intonation isn't just about sounding good. It helps convey emotions and meaning accurately. When asking a question, your pitch usually rises at the end. In contrast, a statement often ends with a falling intonation to sound more definite. Studies show that intonation plays a crucial role in communication. For instance, the sentence, "I didn't say you stole my money," can have different meanings depending on which word is emphasized. The best way to improve intonation is to listen to native speakers and mimic them. When watching movies or listening to podcasts, pay close attention to how they raise or lower their pitch, and try to apply it in your own speech. Learning a language isn't just about memorizing vocabulary and grammar. It's about mastering real communication. By applying these techniques, you'll not only understand native speakers more easily, but also speak more naturally yourself. So why not start today? Pick a favorite movie, listen carefully, mimic the way they speak, and over time, you'll notice a huge improvement in your communication skills. Surround yourself with English immersion. One of the most effective ways to improve your listening and speaking skills is to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. This doesn't mean you have to move to an English-speaking country. You can create an English-speaking environment wherever you are. Start by changing the language settings on your phone, social media, and apps to English. Listen to English music, watch English movies and TV shows without subtitles, and follow English-speaking influencers on social media. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will feel. Another great method is to think in English. Try to describe your surroundings in English, plan your day in English, or even talk to yourself in English. The more you practice using the language in everyday life, the more comfortable you will become with it. Engage in conversations with native speakers. Speaking with native speakers is one of the fastest ways to improve. If you don't have native English-speaking friends, don't worry. There are many platforms where you can find language exchange partners, such as HelloTalk, Tandem, or even social media groups. Joining online forums and discussion groups related to your interests is also a great way to practice. If you love fashion, join an English-speaking fashion group. If you're into gaming, participate in online gaming communities. The key is to engage in real conversations where you have to listen and respond naturally. Additionally, consider joining English conversation clubs or taking part in public speaking groups like Toastmasters. These activities will boost your confidence and help you become more fluent. Train your ears with different accents. English is spoken in many different countries, and each region has its own unique accent. If you've been learning with American English materials but suddenly hear a British, Australian, or South African accent, you might feel lost. To train your ears, try listening to podcasts, interviews, and TV shows featuring different English accents. For example, watch a British series like Sherlock, an Australian show like Neighbours, or a Canadian program like Kim's Convenience. This exposure will help you adapt to different speaking styles and improve your overall comprehension. Another tip is to use YouTube. There are many content creators with diverse accents who talk about various topics. Pick a topic you enjoy and listen to different speakers to get used to how English sounds around the world. Use subtitles wisely. Many learners rely on subtitles when watching English movies or TV shows. While this can be helpful in the beginning, it's important to gradually challenge yourself. Start by watching with English subtitles to connect the spoken words with their written form. Once you're comfortable, switch to no subtitles and focus on understanding the speech naturally. If you struggle, go back and watch the scene again with subtitles to clarify any unclear parts. For an extra challenge, try watching a movie you've already seen in your native language, but this time in English. Since you already know the storyline, you can focus more on the language and pronunciation. Mastering English listening and speaking skills is all about exposure, practice, and persistence. So why wait? Start today. Pick an English podcast, watch a movie without subtitles, or join a language exchange. With consistent effort, one day you'll find yourself speaking English just like a native speaker.